Breaking news, this just in. I completed a project by myself. Yeah! And not only did I complete a project by myself, it had sleeves, and guess what? I didn't get any of it on camera. I was hit with inspiration and motivation to get it done, and I didn't pause to get a camera. I'm sure you can figure out what happened. There was a lot of cutting, a lot of sewing, a lot of pinning, and a lot of sewing. Thankfully, not very much seam ripping, which was quite miraculous in a way. I did have a pattern for this, at least for the sleeves portion of it, which helped tremendously. So much so, my mom, out of town all weekend. I've literally done this project entirely on my own. Talk about going out on a high note. I couldn't have asked for anything better when it comes to this last project. And it's also really appropriate that one of the fabrics I used is called London Calling, or London Rose, or something. I'll specify in my blog what it is. I don't recall off the top of my head, but I know it's London something. I initially just planned on this kind of being a reflection on what I've done so far and what I've accomplished since I can't finish this set of projects this year. Let's just say it's on hold until further notice. I would much, much, much rather put all my shoes in a suitcase than a sewing machine. But it's incredible to look back and see how far I've come in this sewing journey. And it's actually taught me a lot about myself. One of the biggest things that I've learned and I've loved about this project is it's been so nice to flex that creative muscle again. But it's a whole different thing. I mean, using muscles you don't even know you have. When you see something, you see your version of it in your head, and you actually put scissors to fabric in this case and make it happen. And while some of the projects haven't come out how I would like in my head, that's all part of learning. When you're proud of something and you do something and you make something, you're allowed to be proud and you're allowed to brag and show off just a little bit. You know, as long as you're not coming off as conceited or arrogant about it. You know, we all are allowed to be proud and to share that with others. What I have learned about myself that I'm not a big fan of and hoping to improve on is I'm not a perfectionist. And I say that meaning it got to a point with some of these projects where I was just ready to give up, ready to just do the bare minimum of what has to be done to get it done, rather than what can I do to do it right and to do it so it looks good. It's all part of a learning process, and I think when you're learning something new and you have such high expectations and such grand visions, as anybody knows me knows I have some weird grand visions that are never going to come true, but they're still up there swirling around. So when you have these visions in your head and you're wanting to get it out, but it's not coming out how you planned, it's frustrating. And it's easy to just give up and say, I'm done with it, I'm ready to move on to the next thing, which I noticed about myself, and I'm working on fixing that. And I think also a big part that plays into school. If somebody was to say, what would you tell your 16-year-old self? And I would say, try harder in school. You know, actually try. You have so much potential. Don't sit around, do your hardest and do your best, because it'll be so much more rewarding in the long run. It's been so much fun doing all this and learning what I've learned and getting a lot of help from my mom. Surely this would not have been possible without her. As you've seen in all of the videos, she's right there saving the day. Totally forgot what I was saying. To recap on all that I have done this year sewing wise, and a little update on the garment. So it's August, so that's 8. So I have this month the green dress, the striped shirt, the cape coat, the maxi dress, and then February I'm missing 2. What else did I make? After a quick search with a handy dandy cell phone, I found the 2 missing items. So this January, I made a cape coat with a lot of help from my mom. I loved it. I wore it as much as I could. Now it's obviously hanging in my closet because it's way too hot for that, but will be one of the first things I pack for my move. In February, I made a little sweater for my niece and a tulle skirt for myself. Tulle skirt's been worn occasionally. Unfortunately, I don't get many opportunities to wear tulle skirts. In March, I did the maxi dress, which I haven't worn once. It was one of those projects where I was really excited about it, but as it came to, it just wasn't what I wanted, it wasn't what I expected, wasn't what I anticipated. April, I believe April was the shorts. I wore those shorts all the time. I love them. They're so comfortable. And I will be packing them because hopefully, you know, put a pair of tights under them and I'll be able to wear them in London. May was maybe the green dress. Another thing that I love and wear all the time. June is the envelope skirt, which honestly is still sitting next to the sewing machine because I still need to put a clasp in it and make it a little bit tighter so it fits. I do plan on doing that before I return the sewing machine back to its home in the basement because it's taken refuge on our kitchen table. July, which was the striped shirt, La Chemise Parisienne, which didn't turn out how I'd wanted, which was kind of heartbreaking because I really was looking forward to it. And I blame that on the fabric, honestly, because it's just a straight cotton. It has no stretch, it has no give, which brings us, if I did my calculations right, to August, which I made a nice shirt. Thank you for sticking around through all of these. I hope I haven't completely bored you. Since I will be moving to London very soon, my channel and my blog will be undergoing some changes. Hopefully it all works out as I have planned up in here, but as we know, that sometimes doesn't always go as planned. But there's so many exciting adventures that await me, and I will have, if not my actual video camera, I will have my cell phone camera, and I hope to be showing you some of my adventures, some of my travels. So with that, I bid you adieu, and I'll see you on the other side of the pond.